What's up, everybody? It's your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog. I got two guests. I got a background guest, but you know, he's back there. So look, it's Freedom Friday. You guys, you know what to do when you come in. Drop your city and state. It helps us plan events, meetups, masterminds, all kind of stuff. You're getting a peek at us at a mastermind event. We're taking a quick break to record a show for you guys and answer some great questions. So come in, hit the like button, and I'll let my lovely co-hosts introduce themselves. To my right.
Hey, you guys. My name is Kendra, founder of The Key Resource. I am a buy and hold real estate investor, and I invest in DC and Maryland.
Hey guys, I'm Kiara from Charm City Buyers. I invest in Baltimore primarily, although I do have out-of-state rentals as well. And our foundation is rentals, but of course, we bought the blocks. So we got a few flips, a big renovation projects going on as well.
So, you know, I don't come on the show and talk about so much about rentals unless I bring on a lovely guest with me, because some of y'all want to get down and dirty in the numbers, and I'll let her do that. Some of y'all want to be, you know, thinking about how to leave your job. I'll let her come on and talk about that. So as we get the show started today, what are some of your reflections from this weekend before we even get started?
I'm gonna, first of all, the house is amazing. Like, I don't ever want to leave. Y'all should check our Instagram. Like, look at the house we got. But it's just so awesome for us to like be around each other, and we're like sharing tips and like, you know, just like venting.
Yeah, sharing ideas. I think we talk all the time. I know we say that, but like we really mean it. We talk all the time from wherever we are across the country. So it's really nice to be in the same house and in person and be able to just mess around and have fun, but really get stuff done and work together and brainstorm and all that good stuff. So it's been really, really nice. And of course, the place we're staying at is amazing.
Ooh, and let's talk about Terry. So she's not on the video with us right now because she's filming, but this is a boss move.
Yes.
So when we first got here, we were talking to Terry on Instagram. We're like maybe on the phone or something. It's like 11 o'clock at night. So Terry, she invests in stocks, right? Mm-hmm. So she travels the world. She invests in stocks. She's her own boss. And she decided she wanted to join us. Mm-hmm. She had not planned to join us.
She didn't know we were going to be here
at all. So 11 o'clock at night, she decides she's coming out here to where we are. She books a flight on the spot, and she left at 6 a.m. the next morning. So just the power of being able to, first of all, book a flight, then having the money to do it and not worrying about the cost.
Right. And the flexibility on flying on a Wednesday night.
Yeah, we came here on a Wednesday.
On a Wednesday. So she booked her flight 11 o'clock Wednesday night and boarded a plane 6 o'clock Thursday morning. How crazy is that?
Just that. Get up and go when you
get up and go.
Listen,
that freedom of choice.
We're gonna do our roll call shout out before we get going, but somebody asked we're on dress code today. Accident, total accident. You know, blue is just good. Blue is just good.
Great minds be thinking alike, you know.
All right, you guys, make sure you're hitting the like button as you come in. And Andre Hatchett, thank you, moderators, other moderators in the chat. Share that same link Andre is sharing. It will help us all today. Mm-hmm. All right, so we got Chicago in the building, Los Angeles, California, Yonkers, New York, South Central Los Angeles, Raleigh, North Carolina, Memphis, Tennessee, Grenada, okay.
That's PA, where we need to be.
New Jersey, okay. Cleveland, Atlanta, Dallas, and I don't know how to say that, Alabama, some city, Alabama. Mm-hmm. And then we have Phoenix and DC. All right, you guys. Detroit, more Detroit, 2 Detroits back to back. Virginia Beach, Baltimore.
What up, Be More?
Okay, listen.
Be More, stand up.
All right, you guys. So make sure you're putting your questions in here today, because a lot of you say, well, Eric, I want to buy real estate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And how do I get there?
Right.
And I think it's always important to start the show off by showing you people who've done it. Now, we're going to kick it over to Miss Quit her job early, retired, and you were in a safe job. Yeah, you're a safe job. So some people here don't know, but give them kind of a spill.
Yeah, so I worked for the government for 10 years as an economist. I worked for the Department of Agriculture. So yeah, safe job, great government job, benefits. It's like kind of, this is what people strive for. You go to college, you want to get that safe, good old government job. I had it. I just retired at the age of 32. A few months ago, and it's all thanks to real estate investing. If I had not invested in real estate and made those sacrifices and like worked hard for the last 5 years, you know, I wouldn't have been able to be in this place right now. So
Yeah. What I think was really, really cool was when the government shut down and there was a lot of people in your same job right next to you were home trying to figure out what to do. You were like, vacation.
I didn't even care. I really didn't, because I didn't depend on that paycheck. Like, it was cool, like I'll take it, but I had actually planned to quit like right before the shutdown, but then the paperwork didn't get processed because of the shutdown. And so I was like, whatever. So it's a really good place to be in. I never in a million years thought I would be in this position. Like, you would have asked me, 7 years ago, right? Would I be a landlord? Would I be out here like retired? No. But it's definitely possible.
So there's a chart that I think is a great example of Kendra's kind of retirement, where it shows you're using your own money, like you're using your kind of resources to get yourself more passive income to the point where your passive income is bigger than your check.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, the government shut down. Well, money's still coming from the tenants. We're still moving. Still
have reserves. And
yeah, absolutely.
Now your journey's a little bit different. You guys were 12 years old, and you
if you round up, divide by 2, multiply by 7. Yeah. Yeah, we were 22 and 23, so we were fresh out of college, just kind of starting our way, and we sat down and said, well, what is it that you want to have? And when I say we, it's myself and my husband. What do we want to accomplish? What are we looking to accomplish individually, together? We talked a lot about what it looks like. Because I worked a corporate job, right? What it looks like for me to go through the same path that I'm on and retire there. Like, what does that mean? What does that look like? And it didn't fit what I saw my life to become. And so we talked about what we wanted to do and decided to jump into real estate. And being very ambitious and just kind of go-getters and problem solvers and all that, we were like, let's make it happen. And so we decided probably around July, and we bought our first deal by October. We had bought a 3-family shell and did, hustle through a bunch of different things and connected with a creative resource to finance the renovation. We had a $120,000 renovation that we worked with a nonprofit to fund, which opened up our eyes and doors into what creative financing and OPM was all about, and gave us really this awesome foundation to scale and scale well. So we had, our jobs and we're working full time. We're able to buy properties, get cash flow, kind of build our portfolio to the point where we could leave our jobs as well and pursue real estate full time in this really creative fashion, where we're using nonprofit lenders and seller financing and private lenders and hard money and all these different things to build our rental portfolio and start flipping and doing a whole bunch of fun stuff like that. So we were definitely more kind of edgy, young, millennial, crazy, doing really creative things, where we have, 20 rentals and bought the block and did all these awesome things without using banks.
So in that equation, there's so many questions that are in the chat and also in my mind. What was the pushback? Now, what was pushback on your end, and what was the pushback on your end? I'm gonna start with Kendra.
Pushback,
like from people when you're telling, hey, I'm gonna buy a rental, I'm gonna buy real estate. Did your mom like it? Did your family members say anything? Did workers? Like, what was some of the pushback?
I think our family thought we were nuts. It was like, y'all are so young, like, and even to this day, it's like, why don't y'all just work? Like, what are you doing? Y'all doing too much. And one of the things I always tell people is, like, your friends and family are probably going to be the least likely to get it, but right? Y'all experience that too. And that's okay, especially when you're like first generation real estate investors, which we were for the most, my husband and I, when I say we, for the most part. So that was that. But then when we got our first property, it really wasn't all that attractive looking. And I remember bringing my cousin over and my god sister, showing them, and they were like, y'all love this? Like, this looks terrible. But then once we kind of renovated ourselves, and kind of bootstrapped the whole thing, and then we brought them back to see it once we had turned it into an Airbnb, and they were like, wait, can I stay here? Like, and so people may not get it, but you have to move forward with your vision. So yeah, there was definitely pushback, but we out here thriving.
Right. The major pushback I got was like, oh, Detroit? Ooh, that's falling. And I'm like, oh, you're going to buy a trailer? Ooh. And you're like, people need places to live. And I literally came to Detroit with the attitude like, oh, I can't get a rental car. I'm kind of scared of crime, right? Cold in the deep. But then I got there and was like, oh, it's not even that bad. It ain't even that bad. You know,
Yeah.
so that song is
Hilarious.
classic. She deserves money.
The video.
She should have got a lot of money for that.
A lot.
But for me, so for us, we already knew because our very first deal, we paid cash to buy the 3-unit, and then beyond that had a huge renovation, $120,000 renovation, which was insane. And so we knew if we sat there and told my mama, his mama, everybody's aunties and uncles that we were doing a renovation that was more than most people make in a year.
At 22.
At 22 and 23, they would have been like, child, are you crazy?
Yeah,
and who needs that type of energy, right? So we were using our energy to get things done. We knew where we wanted to go. We were focusing on our goals and we're really pushing towards making our thoughts and our plans and all that kind of stuff a reality. And so we did not tell, and this is literal, we did not tell anyone in our friends and family circle that we were investing in real estate until we had like 6 or 7 units. And by that time we had brought this momentum. Mm-hmm. We had started to have conversations about like the TV shows and stuff that we did. And can't nobody say nothing. We waited.
By then it was already
it was gone. We waited until our cash flow was, at where people are making in their regular jobs. We were at a point where couldn't nobody say anything to us about what we were doing, and we went about our day. And so now they be liking our posts like everybody else.
So definitely drop a yes in the comment section if you thought about buying rentals this year with your family. Now I saw some questions that I'm gonna hand off to my 2 ladies here.
Yeah.
Somebody put, when you said Baltimore, they put the bottom. Maryland, in Maryland today.
Let me say something about that. Money. First of all,
she already coming on that up.
First
I
of
think
all,
that's your daughter.
When you think about investing and you think about being successful in investing, first of all, you want to get in at where? The bottom. You want to ride that wave up. That's number 1. Number 2, Baltimore has already started to shift in ways that would blow your mind from a commercial investment perspective to, I'm sorry.
Bring your voice down a little bit.
Sorry. I get passionate about Baltimore because y'all be trying to act like it's The Wire because she be planting these terrible seeds.
So just let us know if y'all can't hear us.
Yeah, just let us know.
We're gonna take it down.
There's filming going on all around the house, so we have to be respectful in a mastermind weekend event. So
I'm gonna behave, but y'all be messing with me. So Baltimore starting at the bottom is great from an investment perspective because a big part of real estate is that appreciation and riding the wave of growth. And Baltimore has a lot of growing to do, definitely, but that's also a great place to get started. 2, Baltimore has had so much going on from a commercial development perspective, as well as a city, state, and now federal federal perspective. So from a commercial perspective, there's so many deals happening in Baltimore where they are doing huge projects. There's big developers doing amazing things. I don't care where you are in Baltimore. I can probably give you an example of something crazy going on from a commercial perspective. 2, from the city is spending millions of dollars to demolish vacants completely. So when you think about Baltimore, you drive through Baltimore, you take the train through Baltimore, and you see these blocks of vacant properties. The city is knocking them down completely. And that's giving this clean slate and this great foundation for growth and for new construction or parks or green space or farming is really big. So that's really, really dope. And then from a federal perspective, you have the Opportunity Zone program where there's tons and tons of Opportunity Zone areas in Baltimore that have so many eyes on them. The president was coming to Baltimore and really looking to make that like the poster child of what Opportunity Zone areas and opportunities could be. So don't get me started on Baltimore because y'all gonna be like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna be nice to people. Just don't be surprised when Baltimore is on the map for being amazing and doing what DC, New York, and all that kind of stuff did from a growth perspective, but in a way that kept the charm of Baltimore and a lot of people being involved and a lot of community development in that transition of growth, rather than making it feel like a complete change and revamp the whole city.
Yeah.
Well, part of the reason I just read that, I thought it was funny, but part of the reason I wrote it
trying to get me started
is the fact that there's chart after chart, study after study, even U-Haul, like U-Haul prices for people leaving California, leaving New York in droves. No matter how many New Yorkers say, no, listen, they're leaving. The taxes are crazy. And so they're going to come Southeast. Southeast is projected to win for the next 10 plus years. And that's Baltimore down. Where I keep trying to get people to see is like people need somewhere to live, and somebody comes to your city, they may not buy a house the first year. They might buy a rental. But if they lived in a cramped New York apartment and now they get an opportunity to rent a house, they're going to rent a house.
Absolutely.
So some people are like, well, why would you invest in houses on the East Coast?
Yeah.
People want to live somewhere differently, right?
Yeah, but let's even think about just any city that besides Baltimore that people will refer to as the bottom, or a part of the city that you live in where people are like turning their nose up at it. And,
that's the hood.
That's the hood or whatever. Though it really, when you're getting into real estate investing and you're looking at investors who are out here thriving and being successful, they're people who were taking the risk and they had that foresight, that vision. You know what? Like, I'm going to invest here. I'm going to wait it out because I know that this area is going to change. We see gentrification happening all over the country, especially in these major cities, the inner cities like Detroit. You see it in Atlanta. You definitely have seen it in DC. You're seeing it in Baltimore. And so you're going to, get in at the bottom. Like, it's only up from there.
Yeah, you run.
Don't be reactionary.
Don't be reactionary. Be proactive. We've seen this happen time and time again. You have the blueprint. That's what you want to follow, rather than kind of, turn your nose up at.
Okay, we have so much.
Can we talk about some misconceptions about getting started in real estate? I'm trying to scoot up because I want y'all to get let's scoot up a little bit. Can we talk about like some misconceptions about getting started with real estate? Because I saw somebody in the comments say, "Do you need a spouse to invest in real estate?" Like, no, you don't.
No. Yes, let's talk about it.
No, you don't need it. No, you don't need a spouse. And you don't need a real estate license either. But let's talk about the spouse, because I think you hear like me and Kira talking about like, our husbands. Yeah. But y'all, like, seriously, I wish I had thought about investing before I got married too. I would have just been coming to the marriage with so much more, right? Sure. But I have so many coaching clients who are single women who are out here like literally buying multi-unit property.
100%.
Like,
me too. Right? Yeah.
And so it's so possible. Like, I don't want you guys to limit yourselves or to wait until you have those two incomes. And honestly, if you're thinking about buying a house for yourself or even house hacking, which I talk about all the time, so like buying a multi-unit, living in one and renting out the other, you having that one income could open up the opportunity for you to have access to different grant programs and stuff like that. So it's having two incomes good, of course. It's awesome, but you can get started like literally right now.
100%. Yeah, you definitely do not need a spouse, especially to do things like house hack, which is such a it's the best way, in my opinion, to get started in real estate. If you're flexible and in a position, especially if you're looking to buy your first home or haven't bought your own house yet. House hacking, I think, is just genius in general. But you don't need a spouse to do that. People every single day are buying property by themselves on their own salary with a bank or using creative financing methods to do it. So there's the only limits that you have to getting started in investing are the limits that you create and put on yourself.
And let me speak as a person who's not married. It's easier to move when it's just you. It's easier to make a decision. It's easier to buy. A bulk of my phone calls are like, how do I convince my spouse to buy a place? And you're like, you're going to have to show another person that you are capable, that this is going to make sense. You're really going to have to over communicate because now it's two people. So if you're one person and you have an ideal and you want to go for it, there's nothing wrong with that. Go for it. Like if the numbers make sense, you can afford it, do it. So I think sometimes people are waiting for a certain season of life to like build a life. Well, don't wait too long. You might wake up and you're 50 and now you've been waiting to build a life. Don't do that.
Let's pass you by.
And I think people also say like, oh, do I need a real estate license? I see so many people that are literally taking the real estate license course in their city right now because they think that's a requirement.
The next step.
Started. And I'm like, why? No, you do not need that at all. And actually, you guys, it's really expensive because once you get that real estate license, unless you're becoming a real estate agent as a career, there are monthly, like quarterly and yearly fees that you could have to pay depending on what broker you go with that end up costing you money. So if you don't have a money making mechanism to like make that money back, it could be really expensive for no reason. And we were talking about it the other day, and I think it's this idea that like, wait, I can just start investing in real estate with no like certification. Like I don't need anyone
without permission.
Yes, I don't need
I
anyone
need
to tell me that I'm like, yes, you're certified. No, like
do
literally,
it.
you are worthy of it. You are capable.
Yes. What do you say all the time? You're worthy.
You're worthy of wealth.
You're worthy of wealth.
Like you have everything you need to get started right now.
Yeah.
I know your financial situation might not be the best to do every form of real estate investing, but the beauty of investing is there's so many ways to get in, and like you can start taking small actionable steps right now, no matter where you are, right? Like just starting to create that momentum. But no, you do not need a real estate license. Please do not take that real estate license
not to be an investor,
because it doesn't teach you about investing.
No, it doesn't talk about investing at all. It tells you how to make sure people sign contracts right and you don't get sued.
Yeah, basically.
And that's fine to be an agent, to become an agent. But as an investor,
I have my license.
Yeah, I have mine too.
It ain't active.
We all have our license.
Yeah, mine wastes money. I get my bill every month, pissed off. But I'll list a property every once in a while, and that'll. But other than that,
pays for it, and I make money off of mine too. So,
yeah.
But I didn't get it to learn how to invest in real estate.
No, I don't do it. I don't have it and use it to invest. I use it only because it costs me so doggone much to have it.
All right, some of you said yes, you're trying to buy this year.
Yeah.
Somebody's buying with a friend. Time. Ganja's reading books right now. Next year he'll be real estate hunting. Believe lack of knowledge is what prevented him from considering real estate 5 years ago. Thank you, Andre Hatchett, posting.
I take action. As you're reading those books and stuff, it's sometimes analysis paralysis. Oh my gosh, drives people insane. Like you have to just not only learn the information, which is really, really important, so you're not making mistakes that you could avoid, but don't get stuck in that process of just analysis paralysis and not taking action.
Yeah,
so Ethan Troy said, just read about Hightown development. It just popped up. Sorry. Hightown development yesterday, and then Ethan Troy also sent a $4.99 super chat. Thank you.
Thanks, Ethan.
Supporting the show.
Yeah.
Found this mixed-use property in Highland Town, but how do I finance? I'm hearing different things about FHA rules.
So the property, so FHA can use up to 4 units. I'm sorry, I'm loud. So for mixed use, there's a lot of different things you can do. A lot of times you're probably going to be required to use a commercial loan a lot of times for mixed use. And so that's going to require a little bit more of a down payment. But Highland Town is definitely an area that you're starting to hear more, starting to grow. Definitely some mixed areas, but I think mixed use are really great because what's awesome about commercial spaces is usually you have a longer term lease. You can build their leases a lot more creatively. They can be responsible for taxes and water bills and all that kind of stuff, insurance. And so you get a lot more flexibility, which can help take down your expenses as an owner. So there's a lot of really cool things you can do with mixed use. As you know, we're talking anyway, Ethan. I know who you are anyway. So there's a lot that you can do there. But mixed use, I'm a big fan. Especially if you do something more creative with the space. There's a lot of need and want for that in Baltimore. So it's going to do, I think a lot of mixed use spaces will do really well in the next few years out there.
Very nice.
All right, well, there's 115 of y'all in here. Make sure you hit the like button. I don't know how to say that, but Arts and Comics channel said, found out the banks have different types of conventional loans. If you have good credit and you can find one that requires little to no down payment and not pay PMI. This is true. There are tons. I'm going to bring Kareem on again, I promise. He's a mortgage broker, but so many times people go FHA or one or two things. They think conventional means 20% down. There are hundreds of programs out there.
So many.
All kinds of veterans, moms, hero programs, all kinds of stuff.
Teachers, firefighters. I mean, and the thing is too, like there are these different down payment programs and grant programs, but you can also just call whatever lender you're going to try to work with and see if they have their own specific programs. And I think that's what you're talking about here. You just never know, like different banks and mortgage lenders have their own programs. And when you can find a conventional loan with no PMI, that's pretty good depending on
significant. That's a significant savings, like from a month-to-month basis, and that stuff really adds up.
Yeah, it does. It really does. It's super cool.
All right, so Nathan Howard asked, what are the systems you have in place to manage taxes of a growing rental portfolio? I own 14 units with another 14 under contract. I want to put in a system that that can, I think you meant, grow as my business grows?
So first and foremost, we're going to make sure that you are leveraging your favorite tax professional. That's where we're going to start with this, because we do not offer tax
CYA
advice.
Consult your attorney.
Consult your attorney.
So your accountant.
Yes, absolutely. One or the above. It's also really, really great to have your attorney and your CPA and whoever does your taxes partner together and help make sure that you have the best strategy. But I think as you're working with those 14 units, I think what's important, or something, let me just say what we do and what we like to try to do for ourselves, is make sure that we have not only a plan for the next 3-6 months, but the next 1-5 years. And so when we're making our plan for the year, we're understanding kind of what we want to look like towards the end of the year to help position ourselves for where we want to be 5 years from now. So if we want to do a huge 100-unit building, they're going to see those tax returns. And that means not expensing every single thing that we've done, and making sure that we're showing that we're making money and writing Uncle Sam a check, right? Because that's going to show that you are in a position to be able to do more and do different things in the future. And so you need to plan ahead for those types of things. So although, obviously April 15th just passed, right? No one likes that day who has to write a check to Uncle Sam, because he takes a lot of money.
He's your private partner that you don't know about.
He is, that you don't know about, you didn't ask for, and all of that stuff. But it's really, really important that you're not trying to overdo it and show losses or whatever you're, just so you can get a check when
you're making $500,000 every year. You make 30,000. Come on now.
Yeah,
it's
like
too much.
It is, and it can be, because it derails your long-term goals when you're trying to
improve.
When you try to get approved for something in the future.
You need a better strategy, and that's where that tax professional comes in.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, thank you, Nathan Howard, for the $20 super chat. I guess we answered his question very well. Okay, it jumped from where I wanted to ask.
No, it's okay.
Okay. MJ said, I definitely need a home in Baltimore. Where would I start as an out-of-towner to buy a home?
So I think in Baltimore, what's really interesting about Baltimore is that it's not zip code by zip code. It's not neighborhood by neighborhood. It can definitely be block by block, which means that you need to, if you're not familiar with the area, you should have someone who has boots on the ground and understands the neighborhood.
Located in Atlanta.
Located in Atlanta. So I don't know if you have friends or family here in Baltimore, or, we work with folks through like our Next Gen program, where we talk a lot about investing with Baltimore. Some people are from out of state, and we talk about neighborhoods, we talk about blocks, and we provide that guidance. But whoever you work with, whoever you partner with, you just want someone with boots on the ground that can help you understand, if you buy on the $1,000 block on this street, it's completely different than the 1,600 block of that street. And so you want someone that can help you differentiate the difference, so that you know that you're getting a good deal. An agent can also help you with that. Agents should be able to provide some guidance on neighborhoods and give you some insight on what's happening, as long as they are active and experienced in the market.
She says she has family there, but they're not supportive. So that means you got to work outside that. Go around.
That's okay.
Derek W. said that you look like a young Tisha Campbell. Next.
Didn't he say someone else said that?
Yeah, that's who is in Martin, right?
Yeah, Martin.
Yeah, I've gotten that since I was a child.
Okay.
What?
Yeah.
So, somebody Cavalier said, I got land in Georgia. Need to place it under my LLC. It's vacant.
Okay.
So I don't know if
is that a question?
If you have a property that you have a mortgage on and you're trying to transfer it into the name of your LLC, you can do that, but you would need permission from your lender. And even if your lender gives you permission to transfer it into the name of your LLC, the liability still falls on you. If you ever start missing the mortgage payments, it's going to be on you and your credit. So that's if you have a mortgage on it, but I don't know what your situation is or what the question is.
Right. Yeah. And right. If you don't have a mortgage, if you're just moving things from one thing to another, which I've done before, a lot of times you can just quit claim them, especially if you purchased it originally with a warranty deed, to make sure that you're covered from previous liens and encumbrances. Then if you quit claim it from whatever you have it in now into the LLC that you want it in, that should be a pretty smooth transition. But that's if you do not have a mortgage.
So Sear Swagger said, you ladies look amazing today, so intelligent and beautiful. Thank you. Carmen B said, what is your suggestion if you want to do a flip in another state but need people with boots on the ground? to watch the renovation. While I check on it too periodically, I will cover majority of the money. What is that called? I would call it a GC.
Yeah, you could definitely get a GC, but contractors be fun.
They be tripping.
They be
I'm like, did you check it today or last week? What
yeah, they be tripping sometimes. They be taking pictures. And you're like, send me a picture update. They be getting angles. I'm like,
put your hand in it.
Yeah, right. What's the date? So what I would suggest trying to if you're trying to flip, first of all, like why, right? But I don't know you. I don't know your situation. So if it actually does make sense for you to try to flip out of state. I would say, again, you want someone with boots on the ground. You're going to want someone to manage that property and have and be incentivized to really have your best interest. And so maybe that's an agent that can sell it for you and get a larger percentage. Maybe that is a project manager that you get a percentage. Like you want someone who has an incentive,
has a stake
in it, and cares about you, and cares about your success in that project. And although a general contractor is good, they're going to do the work and all that kind of stuff. They should. Yeah. They might not have the same level as incentive as someone else who is incentivized by your success.
Yeah, and I mean that could be really stressful too, especially if you don't have any friends, like no contacts, no family in the area.
To do a drive-by.
To do your first flip out of state. I mean you also have to build a really good team to do a flip, and finding good contractors and building that team is hard enough as it is. Like even after doing this for 5 years, I'm still building and rebuilding my team.
Oh, absolutely,
it's a process. So
yeah.
I mean,
people get older, they retire,
people just start to act crazy.
They do, because contractors, I mean, they'll usually, they're gonna go where the money is, and
then sometimes that's in gambling. That's me how I know.
I can't.
Any contractors on here? No shade.
No shade at all.
It's kind of tough. Y'all know how it is.
Yeah.
So EF said, house hacking is the best. I use the NAPA program. I think that's what you're to renovate a 4-unit in Brooklyn, DC.
Oh, then you.
Smart.
So you're basically a millionaire. I mean, I'm calling you out. But
yeah, do your thing.
Please come donate.
Anyone who owns property in DC right now, you're a millionaire.
Yeah,
like you're basically, it's done. You're a millionaire, right?
Yeah.
So awesome. Congrats to you.
Yeah, that's really smart. Leveraging that program to buy multis and house hack is the smartest. I love it. I have a few people on Next Gen doing that.
Yeah.
Someone said I have no credit or money, but I do have time. Where should I start? Should I start wholesaling?
Yep.
Yeah, for the most part, I think like in real estate, to be successful, you need money, you need time, or you need knowledge.
Yeah.
You already skip step one because you already know you ain't got some of that, right? So you either wholesale, you spend that time marketing and trying to find properties. I personally am not a huge fan of new folks starting in wholesaling because I think that there's some things that you should understand first. But you can start in wholesaling, or you can start by partnering with someone. Like for me, if I had someone who had a lot of time, was willing to do the work, but then support me, maybe I would guide them through their process in wholesaling or guide them in their process of doing something else because they had time and my time is a little bit more limited. So
and for me, because I had a situation where I wanted to invest out of state, I wanted to get a rental, but clearly I didn't have time to be going back and forth and getting it up and running. I wanted to do an Airbnb. My cousin, she didn't have the credit or the money, but she had time and she had experience. And that's another thing, like having time is one thing, but like really being able to articulate the value you can bring to someone.
Yeah.
So if you know an investor who, like us, doesn't have a lot of time and you're like, look, I know this area is a great area for like Airbnb or rentals or whatever. I'll manage your property. Like we can go in. And so for her, for my cousin and I, she was going to be a partner, right? I buy the property because I have the money and the credit. She doesn't. She has the time. She can manage it. And without her, I cannot be successful. And without me, she cannot be successful.
Yeah.
And so there's a way to partner too.
Absolutely.
Erica Robinson said, hey, I purchased the Key Resource Maryland list for grants and loans. Thank you. But I was trying to see which I can use to renovate a home to rent out. It's already owned, by the way.
So you're trying to use grants and loans to renovate a home. So most grants and loans are going to go towards your down payment or your closing costs. So say a grant is for like $10,000, that's going to go towards your down payment and or closing costs. You're going to rarely see renovation loans, but what I would suggest to you is the money that you're saving right now for a down payment, because if you're using down payment programs, you're still saving, right? Like you're not just relying solely on this money. You're just using it to make your money stretch further. So if you've saved money and now you get a grant that gives you money, now you use your money for renovations. If you're looking for a renovation loan, you can think about using the FHA 203K loan, which allows you to roll in the cost of your renovations into the loan. And so you're paying for that over time rather than paying for it all up front. And if you're using that to then house hack, it's really cool because your tenants are paying for the renovations and your debt, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, you're not going to find like renovation grants.
Yeah,
it's very rare.
It's very rare. I know that there's so many different grants and programs in Baltimore. It's insane.
So many.
It's insane. So I do know of some in Baltimore, but I mean it's so rare.
Yeah. Is it for developers mostly too? Like
sometimes, a lot of times it might be for like, there's definitely some for like senior citizen type things. But there's some for like historic houses. So there's little things because they're really looking. They're really looking. And I'll speak from Baltimore, but they're really pushing people to renovate and bring up the quality of houses so that they can bring up the pricing because everything's going to Baltimore.
Exactly.
So there are some grants that will help people in their current home to help upgrade and do some renovations in there.
Oh yeah, because I have seen that, like the senior citizens, they'll help them like renovate and get their house up to date.
Yeah. There's a website that has a lot of the the unique stuff in Baltimore. It's livebaltimore.com that will share a lot of those types of opportunities. You can just search and it'll pop things up that you might qualify for.
Okay. Super cool. Aisha Berry said, how can I purchase a second property with an LLC in another state if the first property is an FHA?
If the first property is not, or
is FHA,
and they want to buy the second one with FHA?
Yeah. What do you want to do with the second property? Actually?
Yeah, you can use OPM. I mean, that's always an option. That when a lot of times people are really
OPM.
OPM. Sorry, thank you. OPM is other people's money. So that's kind of what a lot of people call, but what we talk about when it comes to being creative with your financing. So using banks it can be limiting. There's a lot of really great benefits, like the low down payments, and you have 30 years to pay it off, and all those types of things. But there are limiting factors, like trying to get more than one property at a time when you're trying to scale. And so what a lot of investors and developers do is leverage OPM or other people's money or creative financing methods to get access to capital. And so that is being creative with how you get your money. So private lenders, nonprofit, private money, our money, investor loans, like a lot of different things outside of banks. You're not constrained by the FHA requirements.
Yeah, but if you are you trying to use FHA again? Because you don't have to use FHA for that new loan. But let's talk about the LLC piece, because you're trying to buy a property with the LLC and use a bank loan, I'm guessing. And that's really hard to do unless your LLC is already making money and has established credit. Like when you went to get your FHA loan, remember all the questions that they asked you, all the things they looked at your finances, how long you been working? How much do you make? What's your credit?
Tax returns.
They want to see the same things for your LLC. And if your LLC, if you just started it yesterday, you're not going to be able to get a bank loan. And so that's where the alternative, like using OPM and the other forms of financing can be helpful. So I did want to share that. Like I think people want to buy with the LLC because it seems like, oh, it's more protection, right? I mean, which it is, of course. But it can be really hard to buy with the LLC and get a mortgage.
Right, with a bank for sure. Even if they let you get past the is it an LLC question, a lot of times they just say no and won't even move past that part.
Yeah, but you having an FHA on your first property doesn't mean you can't buy a new property with any other kind of loan. Like I don't want you to think so let me know what your holdup is if we didn't answer it.
Yeah, and we'll see it in about 30 seconds. It's a little bit of delay. What was it? It was this one. Brother, I'm gonna kill that last name. I don't have a lot of coins, but I could start with a G or two and I have good credit. Well, again, in that equation, cash, time, credit, right? Like if you've got good credit, are you willing to leverage your credit and someone give you the down payment clause, right? You have to kind of get in where you fit in sort of conversation. If you have good credit, you can literally just take your time by there's one story. This guy, all he did is had a big Home Depot card and Lowe's card. And so he was covering the renovation because he didn't have no other money. But he had good credit. And so they put him on, they partnered together and bought a house. So you have to get in where you fit in, and you have to have something to give to the group. Now, what's funny is Andre had just said something kind of that's perfect. Someone said, hey, I don't know anybody. Well, this is kind of what we're talking about today is you have to meet new people and you have to try to go and connect where you can. Andre Hedges, of course, said Black Sea Capital in here. There's groups you can give $1,000 or $2,000 and join together. That's a big trend. Super teams are a big thing this year. And I really think you guys have to pay attention to that trend, because get in where I don't have all the pieces, so then I'm gonna give you a piece. So that's kind of a thing.
Absolutely.
Another question someone said here, I think it is, how many rentals do you guys have across the table?
Across the table. So I rentals only, so not including all the active renovations I have, is 20. I have 20 units.
And we have 8 units.
I have 3 that are me, and then I have partials that I own. I'm in joint groups of 4 in Detroit, and then also a group, me and my cousin, in South Carolina. So technically, you add it all together, it's plenty.
We got a couple.
We got a few.
We're doing pretty okay.
That's what I'm saying. Partnership.
month
If
is
you partner, you need to make sure what can you bring to the partnership, and what is that other person going to do. That is the number one thing. If you ever ask me, Erica, why you? It's not as easy as it seems, and you both need to be very clear about what you're going to bring. Are you going to manage it? Are you going to manage the property manager? Are you going to call the CPA? Are you going to, cut the check for both of us? You know what I mean? You have to really kind of talk about that. And that's why it's really important to, if you're going to partner, what do you bring?
Right.
Okay. Hello from Charleston. Hello. Okay. What do you have in your room? Oh, someone asked about this. Their refrigerator went out in one of my units. The tenant didn't contact me and bought a new one. Now they want me to take it out of the rent.
Oh no.
Without telling you? Yeah.
I can't stand that.
Not without telling you, because
we don't know what happened to the refrigerator.
We don't know what happened to the refrigerator.
No, and what?
And who takes the refrigerator with them?
Who goes to Lowe's and gets a whole refrigerator?
Because the thing is, like, I need to
decide.
I need to decide what replacement refrigerator goes in there. Now you purchased it, and you want me to be okay with the price that you paid for that fridge? Like, I could have gotten a better deal.
100%. I would tell them they tried it. And
it's in our lease though. We have something in our lease that basically states
that's what they were asking.
If you do that, that's on you.
That's on you.
So we put that in our lease.
Yeah.
Somebody was asking. That's the next question.
We just make sure that people know before they move in not to try this. I don't know if that's in our lease or not. I can't remember, but I will say that our tenants know don't try it. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Not a whole refrigerator.
We had someone do that like a few months ago. I can't remember what it was they bought. No, it was like a replacement part for something. And then they tried to send us the receipt. And we're like, oh, no. You're supposed to call us first. See section whatever the lease. Like, that $80, that's on you.
That's on you.
You have to read your lease. We're enforcing the lease. Like, no.
Right.
That's my job.
Yeah. And we've had like stuff happens like that. And we'll buy a new one and they're like, we want a different one. So they got one. So there was 2 refrigerators. Like, that's fine. Like, you know what I mean? So nope.
And the thing is, like, the reason why it's so irritating for us is we're so responsive. There's literally no reason for you to have to do it on your own. Because as soon as you call me, I'm tripping over myself to make sure my tenants are okay. Because the better you treat your tenants, the better they treat your property. Right. And so I'm like, look, I need to get this done today. And so why are you going around me?
No. Why the refrigerator? You ain't call nobody.
Yeah, no.
That's something wrong. Did you blow the refrigerator up? What did you do in the backyard with the refrigerator?
That made no sense.
Apple Mac said, hey, Erica and guests, I have a friend on the phone right now listening to y'all for advice. Thank you, Apple Mac. Oh gosh, somebody's attending a NACA workshop in PA tomorrow.
Let me give you a quick tip. Okay. The NACA meeting is super informative. It's an amazing program. Literally, if I could qualify for it, I would do it. But you can't own any properties and go through the program. The meeting is long. It's like 3 hours long. Sometimes 4, depending on what city you're in. Bring a snack or eat before. Because I made the mistake of going with a coaching client and I did not bring a snack, and I was mad.
You was about to faint.
I was about to pass out.
You want to set through that whole thing?
I like snacks. So anyway, bring a snack. That's my tip.
Thank you for that, though, for real, because they might not know. Did you ladies learn simple fixes or sweat equity? Did you learn?
Okay, so this is where, for me personally, I'm gonna be honest. Actually, no, I learned I can like do tile, I can do stuff like that. Like, I can put in sweat equity, but for me, my time is really valuable, so I'm able to just hire people out. Now, when I first started, we would do a lot more running around for like maintenance calls and stuff like that, where Chloe and I would be running back and forth to Home Depot and stuff like that. So early on, we would put in a little bit more sweat equity. We might put in a little bit more work ourselves. And then as we continue to grow and scale, it was just unmanageable. I can't do that at every property every single day. And so we don't do that anymore. But starting out, yeah, we would definitely run out and, you know, whatever was going on and try to take care of it ourselves.
Yeah, and we still do quite a bit ourselves. My husband is really handy, so he does a lot, but like not as much as our first rental. We were in that thing, like we would get off from work, go straight over there. We'd like order pizza, and we'd be there all night. Like he's putting in cabinets. I don't know what the heck I was doing because I'm not really handy, but I feel like I was helping.
You were there.
You were cheering them on.
You were watching it, make sure
you
it was
got
right there. Security.
No, there was one time that I actually had to help him lift this granite countertop. Like we had got for like $100 somehow. I don't know how we found it so cheap. And we're like, we gotta get this thing back to the rental. I pretty much pulled every muscle in my body, but that's that sweat equity piece. Like,
he had to carry her downstairs, like back to the car. You're done.
I have no upper body strength, but yeah. So in the very beginning, we were in there till like 1 a.m. Like just.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what I was doing, but that's what.
But y'all was there.
We were there.
You was there,
and it got done.
Right.
Time. She said, "Listen to y'all made me contact a RE real estate investor and pay off my credit card while watching the live.
You better pay it off.
Yeah.
I know that's right. Good for you.
Bring what you can, man.
Good for you."
Oza Johnson said, "Hey Erica, did you ask the questions from the promo for this video? What was the questions in the promo?"
Oh, you did send it to us.
Where did you send them at?
It was on Marco Polo.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to do it. I'm sorry. I'm going over there right now. It's also on
your Facebook group.
It's all over the place.
It's everywhere.
Well, if you want to put your question in here right now while we're looking, let us know.
Are you
pulling
it up?
We're working on it. So I think we talked about 2 misconceptions of getting started with real estate. One was that you need a real estate license. Okay, we got it. You don't need a real estate license if you're just joining.
No, we don't.
Okay. All right. You guys had 18 questions or less. Okay. Kerwin, do you think it's a good idea to start out by investing in a triplex or fourplex as opposed to a single family home?
What are the numbers? Let the numbers make your decision. You don't have to make a decision in a vacuum. If the numbers make sense to buy a 4-unit and the purchase price and the cash flow and the cost of your down payment, all that kind of stuff, let that make your decision, in my opinion. And if all things are equal, you're probably going to want to go with the 4-unit because you're probably going to get better cash flow. But it really just depends on the numbers, in my opinion. I think you let your numbers make your decision for you.
Always. And are you living in a 3-unit or 4-unit?
And that's my assumption, is that they were living in it.
And you need to factor in not only how much cash flow you're making, but how much you're saving by now living there, and your tenants are paying your expenses. So if you're paying rent right now and you're paying $1,200 a month or $900 a month, whatever, like you're going to be saving now that money every month and building up that money. So multi-units are really cool to start out with, but it does depend.
Yeah, and one other thing, because people keep talking about this whole BRRRR thing, right? Buy, renovate, rent, and repeat. If you're looking to do that method, and you're going to do some renovations or things like that, just remember that the after repair value, a lot of times for multi-units, you're not going to get as big as of a bang from renovating than you would from a single family home, especially when you're doing appraisals and things like that. A lot of times multis, there aren't as many on the market to compare to. And there aren't as many people looking at multis because they haven't taken Kendra's house hacking course and don't understand the value. So if you're looking to do something like that, where you're going to renovate and try to refinance and cash out and all those types of things, a lot of times single families are probably going to be better for a short term because there's more people looking for single families. There's more of a pot. There's more. So like a lot of times, sometimes for these questions, there's like so many different layers.
So many. We have to ask you questions.
We got to ask your questions.
So, but you can come ask us questions in the future.
So we have an opportunity.
Yes. So the ultimate rhinoceros. Would you recommend own rentals out of state? How would you manage them? I'm saying property managers.
Yeah. I think there's nothing wrong with managing out of state as long as you are proficient on building a team, whether it's property managers, boots on the ground, whatever it is.
A handyman, call 1-800 number,
a consistent one. Thumbtack. There's so many websites and stuff now. So if you're in Cali and you're like, I can't invest, but you're looking in Baltimore, you're looking in Detroit, you're looking in Cleveland, you're looking in these other areas that might have more affordable houses, you can absolutely do that. Remember, there are no limits, there are no rules. You can do whatever it is that you want to do.
People do
You
all
can
the
reach
time.
reach your goals. And so yeah, you can definitely do it. You just want to build your team.
So BL&S Holding. This is very important. We're gonna go through this. Is it worth me to take a plumbing and maintenance course if I only have 1 or 2 local rentals, or just hire somebody? Hire somebody.
Yeah,
unless you just
somebody.
desire to learn plumbing as a lifelong skill.
I would say
Hire somebody. All right. So Joshua 336 said, what kind of market is in Dallas? Single family homes or multifamily? Other than Zillow, Realtor, Tulia, etc., what are better places to hunt for multifamily? LoopNet.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're not going to get the best deals on LoopNet. Here's the theory on that. I'll run it through. If you see it on LoopNet, that means that person got it. They asked everybody in their office. They asked everybody that's on their list, their immediate list, and none of them wanted it, but it's on LoopNet. But you can go on LoopNet and talk to the broker because he's going to have other deals. And you want to make it known to him that you're looking for a better deal. Like, hey, that's great for that multifamily, but I'm looking for something a little better.
Yeah. And I've actually used LoopNet, and because of kind of that same theory or things that have been on the market for a while from brokers, and I'll reach out to them like, are you interested in doing seller financing? And you're able to use creative financing for these larger deals, and especially the really big ones. They're more and more open to being creative with how you finance them. They're business minded. They get it. There's that, and you can do for sale by owner on LoopNet too. So true.
Yeah, but I think for Dallas, you're not going to find tons of multi-units like you would in other cities. But what Dallas does have is they have a lot of these houses with guest houses in the back, and so people are buying a house and they're renting out the back. So I don't know what your goal is, but also I see people are like looking at Zillow and Trulia and Redfin, and they're like, I can't find any multi-units, but they're not using their filters. So you're scrolling through like thousands of condos and just filter. Just click your filters, click on multi-unit and just like focus on, So but LoopNet, use your filters and kind of think outside the box. Think about those houses with guest houses in the back too. You can also
walk out in the basement.
Yeah, well, no basements in Texas,
dang.
but
yeah. Erica Nicole said, basements are East Coast thing. Erica Nicole said, what are the best investment locations for cash flow for out-of-state investors? Everywhere.
We can't. That's a hard question.
Erica Nicole, I love you because you're in Florida, but everywhere. I mean, I literally did a video where I was going. In the video, I went down. They were naming cities, like, oh, I can't find $50,000 properties. I literally named city after city after city. I'm like, hour outside of Raleigh, hour outside of this city.
But when you say cash flow, what does that mean?
She's in Florida.
$10 without literally anywhere. What is cash flow for you? So it's like
how much cash flow you're actually looking
anywhere.
I love this. This one says, what locations in Baltimore City, Baltimore County, and DC are good for wholesaling? Sir, we don't have zip codes.
For wholesaling, what I would say is if you're really trying to find what's first of all, you should be networking and you should be building your target. For wholesaling, you should be building your target areas based on who you know who's looking to buy. So you should be thinking, if you don't know where to target, you should be building your buyers list and finding out who investors are buying and figure out what it is that they're looking for and where they're looking. Because that'll help you
start backwards.
Build your buyers list first. Find out who you're going to be selling these properties to and what they are looking for.
Okay. This is good. Stephen Covington. Hey, Erica, when is Charm City Buyers having another seminar? Because I live in the DMV area and I want to get some property in Baltimore. Well, perfect timing.
Actually.
Yeah, well, I'll let you answer that.
In person, so there's a lot of things going on. So we have the meetup, just our general meetup that we do quarterly is June 29th. I think we're gonna have some guests.
I will be there.
Coming in.
Fresh from Belize.
Yes. So that's in June 29th is our meetup in Baltimore, Mobilize Baltimore, which is really, really dope. But we're working on some fun stuff. Clearly we're here we're here at a mastermind right now. And so we really thought it'd be really great to give you guys an opportunity to mastermind with us. And so we put together something. Are we going to go through the whole thing right now, or
Let's talk about it.
talk about what? What do you want to talk about?
You want to have a few more questions?
Yeah,
let's have a few more questions. So hold tight.
Either way, there's an opportunity for you guys to mastermind with us. So the Meetup is one thing. It's a really cool place to like meet and greet.
Right? Network with each other, network with us. But
the mastermind is like, and it will be
a whole
intensive, like, and very limited, super limited spots. So we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So Lashley Hall said, I was told recently that it isn't a good idea to buy a retirement home now. To elaborate, we plan to retire in Charlotte in 4 years, North Carolina. My husband wants to buy now. However, I was advised against it, as the home would be seen as a secondary home. Thereby, we would end up paying more in taxes. My husband and I have grown to trust you and value your knowledge as a realtor. I'm not acting. What is your advice? North Carolina, like many other cities like Nashville, is booming right now. It's projected to keep growing. They have maybe, I think, 100 people move there a day. It's a great area. It's a great retirement state. North Carolina's a great retirement state, period. I would definitely recommend you and your husband keep visiting and see if something moves on you, because it may not be available later, or you may have to build a home. So,
and from a tax perspective, again, obviously you want to consult your favorite tax attorney and all that kind of stuff. But paying taxes, I always try to remind people that there's levels to success. And when you hit a certain level, you start writing a check on April 15th. And that is a blessing, right? Getting a check back feels good, but really they just giving you your money back. It's really not good. And I think we really need to start to understand how the tax code actually works. Getting a refund means that you overpaid all year long. It's not a bonus.
And they made money off your money and you didn't.
Right. And then you buy shoes.
You gave them an interest-free loan.
Right. Or TVs.
And TVs. So your tax changing, if you can adjust with that, that's not always a bad thing. That's you leveling up. That's you buying more assets. That's you putting yourself in a position where you're living in your first home. You're leveraging your second home as an Airbnb. You're making income off of that. Right? There's a lot of different things that you can do that makes it a positive. Paying taxes is not necessarily a negative when you think of it as the fact that it's a blessing because you're making more money. You're doing something different. You're bringing more in. And if you're leveraging your accountant and your tax attorney the right way, you're optimizing your position to, do the most with the least.
Yeah, that's right. VCAT. And these questions we're getting from are the questions I posed in the community chat for you guys earlier this week. So if you didn't post your questions there, that's what I'm reading from. I found some properties in Baltimore area, but I can't move on them. Who are the people I would call that may be interested in what I found? Also, how do I know what I found is a good deal to present to someone?
So you don't need to. So it's great to find. Yeah, it's great that you found deals, but you're really going to need to learn how to analyze them. So you should be able to follow a process to understand what is a good deal. And so if you don't know kind of that piece, you're probably going to want to take a quick step back and make sure that you understand how to analyze deals and analyze them well. Because I'm going to tell you this. If I gave you my email right now and you sent it to me and it was trash, we was gonna have a problem. So it's hard for me to go through. I get wholesale deals every single day, way too many to count. And when they're bad, it's frustrating for me.
It puts a bad taste in your mouth for that person too.
For that person, right? Exactly. And I don't even want to put you in that position to have you send it to me and me be upset. So you want to kind of take a step back and make sure that you understand how to analyze deals. You know how to run the numbers. You know how to spot what a good deal is. And you're going to want to start building your networking with people and figuring out what it is that they're looking for. What do they want, so that you're able to provide and find deals that make sense for the people that you're trying to sell them to.
Okay. So I'll make these two questions into one.
Yeah.
One person basically said they don't have a lot of credit. How would they get their first home? The second question said, how does payment assistance work? So it's really the same question, whether they think it is or not. How does down payment assistance work?
I guess that's me.
Mm-hmm.
Hi. Okay. So first of all, I'm sorry.
It's a long day.
It has. If you're using down payment assistance, so basically, I see it as a form of leveraging resources that are out there, right? So that you can make your money stretch further. So still save your money just as if you're going to make the down payment on your own, and then leverage these resources. But basically, what happens is you can look up to see what your state offers for down payment assistance. You can also call whatever bank you're going to use for your mortgage. You can ask them, do they have any grant programs? And what's going to happen is there are two types of down payment assistance. There are grants and there are deferred loans. So grants are the best because there are no strings attached. You don't have to repay it. So if the city of Atlanta has a grant program for $5,000, they're giving you $5,000. It's yours. It's a gift. If they're giving you a deferred loan for $5,000, it may go something like this. You'll get $5,000 to put towards your down payment or closing costs, and it's a 0 interest loan for 5 years. After the 5 years, if you no longer live in that home, then you have to start paying that money back, right? But if you still live in that home, they may wipe the loan clean, right? So you don't owe anything. And that's just an example. I'm not saying Atlanta has that program. If you do want to see the programs, I think someone can share the link for my down payment report.
They will be in the description.
Okay.
Yes.
But that's how they work. You can put them towards your closing costs and down payments. And I've even had people who got so much down payment assistance grants, they literally got a check at closing. They got money back. Yes. Because they were able to use more than one program at once, which you definitely can. So I hope that answers that.
Yes.
Just now I put Kendra's down payment assistance program in the links. Moderators,
Yes,
please share. Kendra. Moderators, thank you. I appreciate it.
And therefore, you have to live in the home for down payment assistance. This is not for rental property.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
if you're trying to do rentals,
I wish.
I know. So, yeah, good questions, you guys.
One question I remembered, I don't have to go back to it. How do they, well, I can, there it is. How do they pay off their mortgage quicker as opposed to waiting for 30 years?
How?
That's what they said. They want strategies. How?
Yeah, you can if you want. So I'm going to assume that you want more options on how to gain more income through your property to do that, right? You can get a second job and put more money on it if you wanted to. But Airbnb, Kendra, is like the queen of Airbnb, the queen of house hacking, and getting more money into your home so that you can leverage those funds to pay off your mortgage. So if you rent like a room, if you rent like a room or something in your house or Airbnb or have a finished basement or something, you can Airbnb. I don't know.
So you're making more money to pay it off.
Yeah.
Other than that, you just want to make sure you are talking to your lender and seeing like how they're going to apply those extra payments, and you also want to see if they have any prepayment penalties.
Yes.
So those are two things you got to look out for.
So smart. Yeah, because they'll put it to interest only, and then you think you're paying down your principal.
They love doing that.
Yes, they do.
Ayana said, what is a good price range for a first-time home buyer interested in a duplex in Texas?
It depends on your finances.
Yeah,
it depends on how much can you afford.
Yeah.
And
what city are you in?
To find out how much you can afford, you can do a few things. So if you think about how much you can literally afford for rent right now or whatever in your budget, how much can you spend on your living expenses? Kind of work backwards and see what kind of mortgage that would get you. You can go to a mortgage calculator on Google and kind of just play with it until so if you can afford $1,200 a month, if that gets you a $200,000 mortgage, what is a $200,000 mortgage going to get you in Texas? Go on Redfin, go on Zillow, put in $200,000 as the max, put in multi-unit properties, right? And then kind of go from there. And if you see that none of the ones that are showing up or anything you want to live in, then you're going to need to figure out how to increase your income so that you can, the real test of how much you can afford, though, is actually getting pre-approved from a bank. Because what you say you can spend and what a bank is actually going to give you, two different things, because they're looking at your debt, they're looking at your savings, your credit, all kinds of stuff. So that's kind of a hard one to answer without us really knowing your specific situation. But
so if you guys are getting amazing value, drop a 1 in the comments. You know they are spitting fire here, okay? It's like round table. So this is the last one off that page. Savvy Lady said, Erica, where I live is nothing but abandoned homes. I've been considering rehabbing around by me. How do I start?
Girl, do it.
Control of the property.
Why? Don't wait for somebody else to, don't wait for someone else to come in and buy those properties. If you can partner with your community association, your city, tell them what you want to do, what you're trying to accomplish, start speaking your thoughts out loud and watch things really come to fruition and come together. I'm sure there's probably also community development organizations and nonprofits focused on housing or affordable housing or things of that nature, having someone who lives in a neighborhood or on a block that has a lot of vacants who is interested in buying and renovating them is like a dream story for any city or nonprofit. So I would say, figure out, start having those conversations, figure out how to analyze deals, buy property, get financing, all those types of things, so that you are putting yourself in a position of success so that you can go ahead and do it. Like, why not? Why let someone come into your neighborhood and do what they want when you can go ahead and take care of what needs to be done right next door to you, literally.
So people are saying, both show, you guys are amazing. You're doing great.
Thank you.
One infinity.
One to infinity.
Yeah. Fire, ladies. One
Yes.
fire. Eddie Hart saying he's got 20 grand. He want to get up in Baltimore.
Come on,
Do
Eddie.
it.
Come on, Eddie.
Eddie.
He said he wants to buy and hold. I mean, I think like all of us here, we have like different types of real estate investing that we do, but everyone has buy and holds.
Yeah.
Like that's where that consistent passive income is at.
Yes, there's a different wealth in being rich, right? I always say rentals and buy and holds, that's wealth, right? Flipping is sexy, you get pops of cash, and that's like rich folks riding
good
around.
money, real.
Popping it through, but
those HGTV shows, they look exhausted.
I
got time.
Look, I'm exhausted at the time, but we have rentals as our foundation, and that's the real foundation for wealth and generational wealth and legacy and all those types of things, like how you really add value. Flipping sexy, but buying holds where it's really at.
So let's talk about why people are like on the sidelines with buying holds and getting rentals. I think it's like this fear of like, well, what do I do first? Like, where do I start? And I think there's like so many questions around that. And that's why we've created like all these resources and stuff to help you guys, because really, I mean, the steps are there, but then you need someone that's done it before, right? So you don't make expensive mistakes, and so you can start better than we did.
Yeah, absolutely.
Apple Mac said his friend Lillian is on the phone listening. She has $70,000 in equity in her Dallas home and wants to know if it's a good idea to invest in rental property.
I think it's always a good idea. I don't know when it's not a good idea to invest in buy and hold if you have the money, the know-how, the knowledge, the guidance, and all of that. I mean, I think buy and holds is great for most people if they're positioned for success.
And my thing about using the equity in your house to invest, it's a numbers thing. Like, these questions are amazing. It's just so hard for us to really tell you guys if it's a good idea for you specifically to use that $70K to invest, because where are you investing? What are the returns you're going to get? How much money is it going to cost you to take that equity out?
Right.
As opposed to like how much you're going to make off of it. So the cool thing though is you own a home that has equity. This is the power of home ownership, right? Yeah. So now you have options. Yes. So that's so funny. So it's an amazing. I think you just have to run the numbers.
Yeah. So numbers should make your decisions. Yes, you should make decisions off of numbers. That's why you analyze your deals. That's why you create spreadsheets and all this kind of stuff. Is you want your numbers to make your decisions. So you're not being emotional. You don't want to be emotional about your decisions. You want to be analytical. You want to be smart about decisions that you're making.
And y'all, Kiera made this like amazing spreadsheet that helps you analyze your.
Flip it all the way to the back.
Seriously, that helps you like analyze the rentals and see if it's a good deal or not.
Yeah.
It's super dope. We'll tell you how you can get it in a few.
Yes.
Okay.
Let y'all have it.
So we're gonna wrap up these questions. It's been literally 400 people in and out of this chat the whole time we've been on. So right now we're currently holding at 150. All right, y'all been holding. What's up, Kamoy?
Oh, hey, Kamoy.
Apple Mac said I already knew the question. He wanted her to hear it because she's watching.
Nice.
Okay. Where's it? Oh, Thesis Daniels. No, there's not. I don't know how to say that. How to raise the money for the property and how long should it take? How to raise money for property and how long should it take? So let's make that very clear. There's a person on our channel that we bring on all the time. OPM specialist, other people's money. So there are a million questions to that, right? Because
there are.
Do you have the property under contract? Do you have a vision? Do you have a goal?
How much are you trying to raise?
Right? How much are you trying to raise? There's a process to it. Okay. And what I definitely want you guys to understand is, what I want you guys to definitely understand is somebody who knows, again, Andre Hatchett put in the comments, make new friends, go to events, connect with people. You should be able at any given time to have 20 people you can reach out to and say, hey, look, I found this great deal.
I'm calling Erica and Kendra.
Is this deal good? Then they'll partner. Now, And many people say, well, Erica, I had a good deal. Nobody wanted it. You need to recheck your numbers. Because, you know,
if you have a good deal, the money comes.
The money comes.
The money comes.
So
Absolutely.
I definitely would recommend you check out OPM course.
Yep.
And again, all these links will be in the description.
Yes.
But let me see. Okay. All right, you guys. So look, you've been seeing in the what is going on over there? You've been seeing in the link
too, so she's running around.
We've got people doing all kind of stuff in the background. So we have a event coming.
Yeah.
Take it off.
Yeah.
Because I'm about to laugh so hard.
So we've been talking about how people can really, we're masterminding, right? How can people really take the information that we give, we talk about, and execute? We want people to take action. We want people to have a roadmap to success. And Kendra has this wonderful 90-day action plan to help people, guide people towards success. But we wanted to see if we could put together a little bit more.
Take it a step further.
A little bit further. So what we did was we partnered up. We came together and said, what can we do to help guide people through the roadmap to buying rentals, buying their first rental, or even if you have a rental but it's not really going well and you're trying to figure out how, like, what are the cracks in your foundation and make sure that you have the information to be successful. So we put it all together and created the roadmaps to rentals, where we're showing how to find great deals, how to finance them, how to manage them, manage your rentals, and really set yourself up for success.
Yeah, and so I'm so glad we partnered on it because, like I said, I mean, for me, I typically have used mortgages or cash, but Kiara is like the OPM, other people's money queen, and so we have put both components in there, various ways to finance, because that's people's biggest hurdle is like the money. Where am I getting the money? What's the best? She has that rental calculator spreadsheet thing that she created is in there. We put some like really dope stuff.
OPM, we're talking about private lenders, we're talking about hard money lenders. We have tons of worksheets and workbooks and just giving you guys all the information that you need to really figure out how you take the info and just take action.
Step by step, like literally how to finance, find, and fill the rentals, like how to find renters, different ways that you can make rental income, because when it comes to having a rental property, you don't have to have a long-term tenant. You can do like so many other things.
Airbnb.
People are always like, how do I get started? And I think like getting started is super hard, but then figuring out like step by step, what should I be doing this week? What should I be doing next week? And that's what this is all about. So, and then on top of that, we also have this opportunity because people want to like mastermind with us, meet, and really have an intensive where we're like walking through deals. We're talking you through stuff. We're helping you. If you just bought a property, like get that listing up and like, just like put in some work, like get it done.
Because we want to make sure that people are taking action, right? It's 2019. We're in second quarter. We want to make sure you guys are buying your deals. We want people to stop talking about it. We're not waiting for the recession to happen, right? We're taking the action that we need to take right now so that we're positioned to do what it is that we want to do and need to do if there's a shift or whatever happens. And so you can, we have this class where you're getting the information, you're getting the guidance, you're getting the tools to be able to take action. But this mastermind, what we're about to do there is going to be crazy. Like, we're going to sit next to you and guide you through creating your listings, or you're talking through your leases, or talking through your tenants, or analyzing deals,
like negotiating, looking at different properties, things like that. Because I have like coaching clients who literally want to go through like, okay, these are the three I'm looking at. Which one is the best? Like running those numbers. And just having that like second set of eyes. I wish I would have had it when I started.
I'm telling you. And it's so hard. Like for here, like we have so many questions, but it's like, well, we need to know about you. Like, so where are you? What's going on with you? And so at this mastermind, you sit really right next to us, and we can go through all of your goals and what you want to do and what you're trying to accomplish, and help guide you through that process of being successful and giving you the tools and things that we didn't have. Like, I'll tell you, I went through the school of hard knocks, child. In my early 20s, we made so many mistakes and spent literally tens of thousands of dollars. And if I say bigger numbers, it's probably more accurate. It's gonna hurt my feelings when I talk about how much my mistakes in this journey had cost me. But that's why we created these classes, or do next gen, or do coaching and all that kind of stuff. because we want to provide people with the resources, tools, and knowledge that we didn't have, and things that we learned the hard way. We want you guys to breeze through. I want you to build your portfolio better, faster, and smarter than we did.
To skip those mistakes.
Yes.
I mean, apparently too, from the questions that you guys have, we literally built this to answer your questions.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I mean, it's kind of hard to like,
kind of analyze you and what you need.
Yes.
So it's general answers, because sometimes you may have a unique situation that's completely different than the person beside you. So thank you so much, moderators. Thank you, Apple Mac. Thank you, Andre. Thank you, everybody.
What's really fun about the mastermind, it will not just be us, right? We're going to try to bring some folks in, additional people to come and talk with everyone and help provide additional guidance. So we're super excited.
We're gonna bring
so much
friends.
fun. Bring some friends.
Let me tell y'all about this mastermind though. So we put it together, and of course we're gonna offer a discount for the Classy Climb crew because we love Erica.
$500 off. I negotiated hard.
Always banging.
So there's 2 different links that you're seeing. One is just for the course. That's a self-paced online course. You can literally have unlimited access to it. You can access it whenever you want. For that, we're giving you $300 off, and that is a steal. Listen, me and Kara went back and forth because I'm like,
you're like, what?
You're getting all that for $397?
Yeah.
Like it's a lot, and I really struggled.
They locked me in a closet, y'all. We had to work this out.
Struggled. I mean, seriously, like it's nuts. Especially since you're getting resources from both of us,
right? Combined, where you would have had to take up, like you would have just had to be so much involved with
alternative funding.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Listen, like I'm struggling even saying it now. Like it's a really good deal. So we're only doing that until midnight tonight.
Yeah.
That $300 off because it's crazy. You get all that course content for $397.
Yeah.
And then for the VIP mastermind, you get the course content plus the full day intensive with us in Maryland. The location will be shared after you reserve your slot.
Yes.
There's only 10 slots for that. So, like I said,
when it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah, and for that you get $500 off. So it's the course plus the mastermind. You can network, meet us. We'll go through things,
meet each other.
Yeah,
a lot of networking involved.
I'm telling you, super teams.
Super teams, absolutely.
I keep telling y'all that a lot of you guys are moving faster than sometimes your peers. Come talk with us. Come hang out. Let's kind of. It's not just a mastermind. We're going to hang out and chat and eat food.
We're getting work done.
And a lot of you have major plans for 2019. It's probably a great opportunity for you to connect with us.
Absolutely.
So if y'all have any questions about the course or the mastermind, let us know.
Absolutely.
All right. Now we do have another super chat. So we, as always, we answer super chats.
Yes.
Thank you for the $10 super chat. I am Sugar Share.
Okay.
I can't say that. I'm wanting to buy my first 3-family home for house hacking. I want to live on the 3rd floor, rent out the 2nd floor, and do an Airbnb for the 1st floor. I am nervous with Airbnb part. What are y'all thoughts?
Why are you nervous, girl? Airbnb, you can make some money. I love the fact that you want to diversify your rental portfolio. So you have like that consistent income from a renter, and then you have the Airbnb income, which with Airbnb, you could make double what you're gonna make with a full-time and long-term renter. So why are you nervous about Airbnb? So here's the thing. With Airbnb, you have complete control. You have the power. You can, if you get a request from someone that you feel like is shifty or iffy or shady, you just decline them. If you only want to rent to people every other week and not have it every week, you can do whatever you want. If you try Airbnb for a month and you decide you hate it, take it off Airbnb and get a regular renter. Like you have complete control. Try it. I love Airbnb. We made crazy money.
Yeah.
But the Airbnb we in now making crazy money.
Crazy.
We got a video coming in a few days. But this Airbnb we in.
Yeah.
But be mindful that if you're using an FHA loan, you cannot do short-term rentals because FHA, they want your bank wants their money, especially when you're not bringing a lot of money to the table using an FHA loan, and so you can't do short-term rentals like Airbnb,
right? Or they don't say that's your plan when you're buying it.
We can't tell you that.
I'm not saying. I'm
don't
just saying.
Do that.
I'm not. What I'm saying is make sure that you have your plan that you share with them when you're buying it is one that makes sense and one that shows stability. Is what I'm saying.
That is they want stability because they want their money.
Yes.
Okay. So they don't want any short-term rentals.
No, absolutely not. And there's Airbnb. We talk about Airbnb in that class, and of course we just put together. We talk about Airbnb and using a lot of different methods to get income on your rental. So
how to get started with Airbnb.
So,
super cool.
super cool.
He said, "Dang, everything be popping on the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it be that way."
It is.
So you guys definitely check out the look. She said, "Thank you, ladies."
Yes.
You still didn't tell us why you had nervousness about Airbnb,
Right?
But listen, in the links, I'll make sure to have Kiera's links for OPM, which I've shared already. I put it in there.
Mm-hmm.
I have Kendra's homeowners down payment assistance program in there.
Yes.
And we'll also put her Airbnb information for her classes so you can check them out. There's a lot of great information. And look, we'd love to hang out with y'all. What's the limit? 10 people?
10 people.
I thought it was 15, but see, they done broke it down to 10. They're like, that's it. 10 racks of lambs. That's it.
Right. Look, come on, come with it. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We got so much done here. It's a beautiful space that we're in right now. Gotten so much work done, and how many other people could take advantage of being in a room of people who are focused, who know what they're doing, who are really all in on other people's success. Right? It's dope. So we want to give you guys the opportunity to come hang out with us a little bit and make sure that you have all the information you need to be successful.
Perfect. Love it. Fun. Thank you, ladies, for coming on. We're gonna go get some delicious food. Y'all already know how I wrap my shows up. I'm holding on over here. All right. So, describe where they can find you on the internet.
Oh yes. Hi. Okay. Find me at The Key Resource on Instagram at The Key Resource. Find me there.
Google Kendra Barnes. The Key Resource. Well, they Google it.
Everybody.
No, it helps.
Find me on Resource. Just find me on Instagram. That's where you need to be. That's all stuff.
And 1/2, 1/3.
Yes, 1/2, 1/3. Charm City Buyers. Charm City Buyers on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. CharmCityBuyers.com. Most of the time, everybody's checking us out on Instagram. We have a YouTube channel as well. But yeah, just connect with us. Let us know what questions you have, and look forward to hanging out with y'all in this mastermind.
Yes. As I finish this out, Carmen B said, "Yes, I live in California and feel like everything is popping off on the East Coast and Midwest. Thanks for this awesome show." Lakeisha said, "I love you, ladies. Very informational. Thank you."
Thank you.
So look, everything is popping off on the East Coast for at least the next 10 years. So, but I will be out in California in July for VidCon, maybe sooner. So I look forward to seeing whoever I can catch out there.
Yeah.
But everybody, this is your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog, author of the Smartphone Millionaire book. You can catch it out on Amazon. You guys have an awesome day.
Yeah.
Bye.